If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to the second lecture of this switchgear protection. Protection message basically mainly get previous year questions on protections. So today I have taken again 5 questions, question number 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I will be giving the link to download these questions in the description file. You can download it from there. Okay, then let's start. Now if you solve this one, to solve this one let us draw 3 winding. Let's say this is earthed with a resistance of 5 ohm. Now if you see the let me take the total winding first. So if I take the total winding, then the voltage is 11 kV. 11 kV means in phase it is 11 kV, it is normal 11 kV means in 3 phase if it is mentioned normal 11 kV, that means in 3 phase it is always standard to mention in line voltage if it is not specified. So 11 is means it is line voltage. So what is the phase voltage across this voltage? It is 11 by root 3 into 10 to the power 3. Now if I take, let me take there is a fault here itself. So if there is a fault here itself, so what will be the, how the current will flow from here to here? So the fault current will pass through this path. So if I go through this path, so what is the effective resistance in this path? This is 5 ohm that I have connected. So how much is my fault current will be? So my fault current will be divided by root 3 divided by 5. So it is around 1270 ampere. So if this current flows, if there is a fault in the entire winding is exposed to that fault. You can see if it is faulted, then the full winding is exposed to the fault. Now what is my CT secondary setting? CT secondary setting, it is said to be operated at 0.75 ampere. Okay, and the CT ratio is 100:5. So the 1000:5. 1000:5 means if 5 ampere, then primary is 1000 ampere, if secondary is 5. So let me find what is the primary current for 0.75, that is we have set in the secondary threshold. So corresponding primary fault current will be equal to, so this is my primary fault current. Okay, this is 150 ampere. That means if there is a fault in primary of to 150 ampere, the relay will not trip. The relay will trip after it crosses to 150. So for full 100% it is 1270 if the winding is full. I am protecting it full. Suppose this side is grounded, so the entire winding is full, then it is if the entire winding is exposed to fault, then the total current is 1270. Now suppose there is a fault here itself, so the up to this much is exposed, you can see. So the current the voltage will not be 11√3, that proportionate it will reduce. Suppose, let me draw it more clearly. Suppose this is my the connection drawing for phases. So this is the star point. Suppose here the fault is occurred and it is connected to ground. A fault has occurred here at this position. So full 11√3 will come. This 11 into 10 to the power 3 divided by root 3 into Q, because the full winding is coming. Now suppose the fault has occurred around 50% of here. So the current will not be 50, that voltage will not be 11 now, it will be 50% of 11√3. So it will go down half. Now you can getting it, that is known as, because how much winding is shorted, that will come, so the ampere. So here it is given 1270 is the total if it is 100%, but up to 150 it is not tripping, it will trip after 150. That means after 150 whatever current is there, that current it will sense. Up to 150 it will not sense. Okay, so this month, that means up to 150 it is not protected, after 150 it is protected. Okay, so up to 150 is how much percentage of 1270? Let me calculate. 1270 represents your 100%. If the full winding is faulted, then it represents 100%. Then how does what does this represent? 150. This much is not protected. So you calculate, this will be equal to 150 into 100. Simple unitary method. 1 divided by 1270. So if you calculate, this much is not protected. So this much is not protected. 11.81% is not protected. So they have asked how much winding is protected. So the protected portion will be 100 minus this. So the protected will be 100 minus this not protected. 88.18 or 88.2 you can say. So this much winding is protected. I think this is in your option B. Got it? So this is a very standard question of generator winding protection. So you can think it of this way. 7. In question number 7 it is given In an inverse definite minimum time delay electromagnetic work until the minimum time feature is achieved because IDMT relay. For what purpose they are asking. So in IDMT relay, if you see the characteristics of IDMT relay, this was the characteristics of IDMT relay. So this portion is exposed. This linearity portion is very much exposed because we want to get that inverse characteristics between my fault current and the operating time. So this is exposed, but ultimately it will not come to zero. There will be certain current lag will be always there. So the minimum time they are asking, what is this minimum time? So this minimum time is, you know why this curve is going this. If you see what is its corresponding curve in BH curve, this was the corresponding curve in BH curve. It is operating somewhere here because this linear portion is exposed as inverse characteristics here. This line, this linear portion has been exposed. I have given a link. You can go to check in the theory classes, earlier switchgear classes. You will find the link here. From there you can see. So after that what happens? Saturation occurs. So this time lag, this time, there is a time because it is not touching the time is not zero here. This is time axis. So the time is not zero, minimum time is there. So this is due to the saturation of the magnetic circuit. That is option A, saturation of your magnetic circuit. The core is saturated, it is no more a inverse characteristic. It is not going to zero. Question number 8. 3 sections of a feeder are protected with the circuit breaker this. And which one? Now you see there is a fault here. Let me do it here itself. There is a fault in F here. So for F fault, which relay you should want to trip? This and this first. Very fast this should trip so that this line get isolated. The rest should be same. So CB5 must be set to trip after CB1. So after CB1 means first it will trip. Then first if it trips, then the entire circuit is gone. Then what is the need of putting this one? So obviously A will not be the answer. Same, CB5 must be set to trip after 3 and 4. So after 3 and 4 this line is unnecessary gone. So this is not required. We need only to this line to be gone. CB5 must be so after CB2. Same. We don't want to trip others. If this trips then these two are separated. There is no need. CB5 must be trip after before CB1 CB2. This one is the correct. This should trip before this any one trips. If this trips before, then this line is out. My job is done. There will be no fault, no, another one, others one will not be tripped. So this is your correct answer. That is your option D. I think you can go to normal logic. This is fault, this line should be outed first. Rest should come later. Number 9, in a 3-step protection. Again in 3-step protection I am giving a link. You will find it there. 3-step protection, the first step is the 80% of the first line, and in the second step it is 50% of the second line, and more specific if you go, it is the 50% of the next shortest line. It is more specific if you go, you will find in the notes. It is 50% of the next shortest line and 20% of the next third longest line. This was the for the longest line. Third line means it is actually 100, then 100, then one can say 220. That is 120% of the third longest line it was. You can see more specific there in the notes for 3-step protection. This is done to take care of this underreach overreach property. That means my relay should not underreach, relay should not overreach, because if you set for 100%, it is not sure that it will sense 100%, but there will be CT error, PT error, due to which this line impedance, what you are setting this impedance, it is not always fixed. It depends on lots of factors. So this will change. If this change, then the relay may sense beyond its range. If it is set to be sense this one, it will sense fault for this one also. So there will be a problem in primary, so there primary backup coordination. So it's not 100%, it's a given, some portion is left out, 80%. To take care of that second and to take care of all this, there is a third backup. So you can see this one in 3-step protection. In details we have explained there. Consider problem of relay coordination in the relays relevant to an adjacent line of the transmission figure. Zone 1 and zone 2 settings for the both the relays are indicated on the diagram. Which of the following indicates the correct time settings from this one? So you can see, although it is indicated in this way, but in practice zone 1 is 80%, zone 2 is 50% of this line. It should come somewhere here, but they have given this much, so you have to consider this one. The setting was up to this much. Zone 1 is this much, zone 2 is this much. Then indicates the correct time from zone 2 relays for R1. Zone 2 relays of R1. So zone 2 of R1, zone 2 of R2. Between these two, what should be the time coordination? So you have to see whether there is an overlapping area between these two zones. If there is an overlapping area, then only this time coordination will come. Coordination of time setting will come. Otherwise there will be no need of time setting. If both are operated in same zone, then you have to think which one should operate first, which one should operate later. If there is no common zone, zone 1 is here and zone 2 is here. Suppose one zone is here, one zone is here. Then no need for time coordination because they are not operating simultaneously. It will operate for this fault, it will operate for this fault. If there is a common area where both can operate, then you have to think for time. You have to give time setting. One should act fast, one should act later. Now if you see, if there is a fault here, so this is the overlapping of this between these two. Which one is the overlapping area? This area, because in this area this will also trip, in this area this will also trip. So if there is a fault here, then what is your idea? Which should we go first? Because this is fault here, so this relay and this relay should go out first. So R2 should go out first, not this one. This one is for R1 zone 2. If this operates, then R1 will go up. So if there is a fault, which one should first go? R2. If it fails, if this fails, then this will take care of. This means R1 will take care of. So that means R2 should be fast, then R1. So R2 should be small time and R1 should take more time. So only one option is there satisfying these two. Rest are, this is same will go trip together. These are not possible. Okay, that's all for today. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.